artificial intelligence, it's a rapidly growing field, whether we like it or not. Not only is it here to stay, it's everywhere. Can you talk about how AI impacts us as humans and maybe even use some examples of your own research in your world?
This whole field of artificial intelligence has been around for a long, long, long time. What's different now is that it's in applications that we use every day. If you do anything in terms of banking, if you're going and you're worried about someone stealing your identity or fraud alerts or someone taking your credit card number and going shopping with it, right? All the algorithms that are behind the scenes are based on artificial intelligence processing, kind of anomalies, trying to figure out, are you just in a trip to Hawaii or is this really an anomaly or a fraud? It's there in terms of, jobs. Like the next time you apply for a job, guess what? An AI algorithm is probably going through your application, trying to figure out if you are the correct match behind this. And then there's even things such as the airports now are using AI when you scan your ID to see, are you in the system or not?
When you say the system, can you unpack that a little bit?
Yeah, so all of our data is collected, right? And so there's multiple systems that are out there. There's some that are government hosted. There's some that are hosted by commercial agencies that then provide information, algorithms, outputs based on them collecting of data. And so our data is stored in multiple places. We don't even know all the places that our data is stored.
So should we be excited about that or should we be a little worried?
Both. We should be excited because there are beautiful opportunities that are out there. And one example I'll give is healthcare. So I work in robotics, rehabilitation, healthcare, primarily children with special needs. Imagine that you're a child, you have to go through therapy in terms of movement, exercise. You typically go to the clinic. Now imagine you're in your home environment and your robot playmate that looks like a humanoid, that is a humanoid, is basically playing the exercise game with you, right? And you're having fun because you're playing, you're beating your robot and you're exercising, but you're really doing interventions, you're really doing rehab. That's what we do. And so we look at, how do you model human? How do you engage a child? How do you do gamification of therapy? And the robot, of course, is the playmate. If I can collect data about how kids work with robots, I can use that information to retrain other robots that can work with other kids, right? So that's a good thing. The negative is that there's not enough kind of rules and regulations to protect us as a society about the use of that data. So just like the same data can be used to help in healthcare, it can also be used to market me and realize that, today is a good day to show me an ad, so I'll buy the next item from, whatever company. So that's the things we should worry about.
I guess it can be worse where you might not get that loan, or you might not get that job, or you might not get something that's a little more, in terms of having an impact on you, has a little more gravitas. Is that an issue, or has the regulation figured out that stuff to at least block some of that?
No, that's still an issue. Last summer, there was a case where AI algorithm facial recognition, it came to fruition that we found out about it. There was a man in Detroit, African-American man, who an AI algorithm basically pulled his picture and was like, this is the person that committed the crime. And he was like, I wasn't even in town that day, right? But it was like, well, the AI algorithm can't lie. And so that's the negative, is that, you can have these impacts of our civil liberties, of our freedoms, and you can't, it's very hard to basically, counter and be like, hey, wait, the AI algorithm is wrong because of the fact that I live in the neighborhood that it targeted. It's really hard to prove anything negative, even though you might know that it is.
But doesn't the programmer play a role in that? I think with one of these kind of facial recognitions, at the end of the day, you have to have inputs for the algorithm to iterate off of. And if, let's just pick one demographic, if the inputs are all of a typical white male, 40 to 50 years old, can the algorithm properly read an Asian or an African or a Latino person?
No, and I will say that one of the things that we know is that and we're calling it biases. So biases in the algorithms. It's on the developer side, it's on the data side, it's on how the data is coded, it's in the algorithm itself, and it's on the output and how it's used. And so it's really systemic throughout the entire ecosystem of an algorithm. We can talk about the data. Like, imagine you collect all the right data, but then the humans that code it, if they don't know how to code the data right, you're going to have some differences. As an example, there was a study that showed coders are more likely to label African American women as angrier, right? And you always hear that. But now imagine that data is enough data there. There's a bunch of data that represents, the world, but now your coders are labeling it in a different way.
So it does sound like, though, that there's a consciousness about that, and at least the field as a whole is starting to recognize biases and saying, hey, wait a minute, we might need to go back and recode or reprogram, et cetera. Is that fair to say?
I would say that it is a growing movement within the community.
Okay, so where is AI going in the future?
I think AI is going to continue to grow but be much more pervasive. Yeah. What does this mean? It means that we're going to have a lot more services that improve and help us in terms of education, in terms of job placements, in terms of retraining, in terms of healthcare. In fact, there's interesting things in healthcare and AI. That's the positive. That's the good stuff. I would say the negative is just like with law takes a while to catch up with technology. I think with respect to AI, the law and regulations are going to take a while. And so we're going to see a lot of mistakes happen in the near term, like with facial recognition, before, we catch up in terms of, oh, this is how you're supposed to do it. This is, the FDA for AI to make sure we don't do harm. We do more, improvements and better people's lives. So that's going to take a little bit of while to catch up.
That's deep and that's fantastic. Dr. Howard, thank you so much for being on QED with Dr. B. A pleasure to chat with you.
Thank you.